there was an ad association survey about 6 months ago, straight after Brexit, where 70% of people were very nervous about the future, and as I suppose the whole country was, and all of business has been. But advertising, a bit like other sectors, has sort of defied what a lot of the doom mongers thought. So we saw last quarter's figures showed a 4.2% rise in ad spend. Now, what happens in the future, I think, is still very much up for grabs. But as we go into this summit tomorrow, the Leeds summit, the big issues for the advertising industry, I think, are making sure that the position that we've got sort of post-Brexit and even pre-Brexit is maintained as an industry. As you know, we're exporting over 4 billion of advertising services into Europe. My own And-Partnership, one of our biggest contracts in the history of our company, was awarded to us last autumn post-Brexit out of a French-based network into a London-based network, and that's very important for us and for our industry that government make sure that as we go into Brexit, they're very cognizant of the things that we need to protect in order for us to continue to be the strong sector that we are.
How dependent is the industry on migrant labour, and how much of a hit would it be if there were curbs on immigration?
So that would be, I think, a big issue for our industry. I think there are a number of strengths that our industry has. Historically, London grew some of the best advertising agency brands in the world, starting with the Saatchi brothers and CDP, and we've managed to maintain that, I think, partly because we've attracted 1 in 5 people in the advertising business have come from Europe or other countries, as well as Brazil, the US, etc. If you're a young Brazilian creative, there's no better place to work than at a top London agency. Same thing if you're a young German creative, etc. And I think our sell to global brands, European brands, is if you hub your creativity for Europe out of London, one of the reasons that's a good thing to do is not just our sort of historical levels of excellence, really, if you look at creative awards, but also our ability to attract the best European talent in here. So it's very important to us as an industry that as we go into those Brexit negotiations, our ability to hire and bring in those 1 in 5 foreign talents from Europe and elsewhere is completely maintained.
And as you look ahead towards the rest of 2017, what's the mood among clients in terms of ad spending? Are they looking to commit the budgets that they have done over the last 18 months or so?
Again, I think the thing that the ad spenders are looking for is, like everybody, degrees of certainty. If you're going to invest in a brand, often it doesn't pay back that investment till year 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I think they want to know that there's going to be a stable regulatory environment. So that's quite important for sectors like food, gambling, etc., where there's been some controversies in the past around that. We want a stable environment for those advertisers.
What about your position personally? I keep reading that you're the heir apparent to Sir Martin Sorrell if he ever finally hangs up his boots at WPP.
This is a story I know Martin loves me discussing. No, I think as you probably know, because you see quite a lot of him, Martin looks about 32 years old. He's just had a kid. He's probably the most active, energetic businessman in the world. So when they say, are you likely to take over for him? If I ever was, I don't think it'll be for 15 or 20 years' time. I think Martin's got, a long run. And, as you've seen, continues to post fantastic results. Somebody once actually said that the person that succeeds Martin Sorrell will probably be like, David Moyes succeeding Alec Ferguson. It might not be a job that you'd want to take on after the long run of success he's had.